I don't think you want to get deep into the count on either of these two pitchers because they're going to be experienced and poised and know how to put things away. And so these guys are going to want to jump on those first fastballs early and get that done early on in the game. Jackson Bolender is obviously a very proven and polished player here for Wasatch. A 4-year pitcher, a senior now. He's committed to play up at Lane Community College. We're up to Oregon afterwards as well. So that's where I'm going to say the key in this one is the hitters need to recognize that they're going up against high-quality pitchers, and you can't miss your one opportunity. And we mentioned that a couple times in the last game, that a few hitters missed the hittable pitch, the fastball and the hittable pitch that they had, and they need to be able to make that adjustment and not miss that one this time. Otherwise, you're going to not have opportunities to put runs across the board.
Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, I'm going to let Tyler gawk and brag about the starting pitcher that's on the mound for the Wasps today. We'll be back with your Dairy King pregame show after this.
What's up? How's things? Good. Where are you staying? Where are you guys staying? All right. How long are you guys staying? Gotta go back.
So your wife's play date worked is what you're saying. She got you set up on a play date and it worked. Yeah, good for her.
We're live here at Desert Hills High School. A little bit of a breeze. Flag's not out in the outfield. It looks like a little bit of a breeze blowing out to left field for this 1:30 start. It's the Wasatch Wasps against the host team, Desert Hills High School. Desert Hills comes in 0-2 on the year. Wasatch comes in 1-2, but there's a lot of confidence from Wasatch game, and the big reason why is their ace, Jackson Bolender, is on the mound. Last year, 12 strikeouts against this Desert Hills team and a tight loss. And I'm going to turn it over to you, Ty, who have coached him and from the pitching coach position for the last 3 years, about why Jackson Bolender is such a special player on the mound.
Yeah, he's a unique player, and he's a coach's dream, Tyler. He'll make the coach look better by the way he goes out there and plays and pitches. And he's a bulldog out there with his attitude, Ty. And that you mentioned strikeouts in his opening game against the Hills. That was only in 5 innings. So 5 strikeouts in 5 innings.
12 strikeouts in 5 innings.
Yeah, excuse me, 12 strikeouts in 5 innings. And he was just outstanding in that game, but that was not abnormal for him. Throughout the first several games of the season, first 4, he was averaging 14 Ks per 7 innings. And what he has, Tyler, he's got a combination of everything you want in a pitcher. For 80s, he throws a good changeup, which is the hardest pitch to hit in high school athletics. If you've got a good fastball, the opposing team is having to kind of gamble just across the board. They can handle the bat and catch up to those fastballs as easily, and so you have to pretty much have to sell out. So if you got a velocity fastball like Jackson does, and then you come back with a changeup that not only breaks the speed down about 7 to 10 miles an hour, but also dives at the ankles, he can move it both directions. He can thumb it over and get it breaking away from you or into you, and he's got great control and handle of that, and the changeup just made him lethal. And those 2 pitches alone make him deadly on the mound, but then he's got a good curveball that he can mix in there as well. And so kind of a elite pitcher for high school athletics, Tyler, where you can come high 80s, multiple pitches for a strike at any point in time in the count as well. With Jackson, it never mattered whether it was 2-0, 3-2, first pitch of the count. You could throw whatever pitch you wanted at any given time, and he would deliver. And Tyler, he works with such good pace as well. So when you're playing behind him in the field, you're never going to be kind of bored to sleep, because even though he's striking guys out, you're engaged in the game because he is rolling with a rhythm. when I would time him, he'd be throwing a pitch between 8 to 10 seconds from pitch to pitch, which is a pretty good number there. If you know you're checking the major leagues and the minors, they're trying to get a pitch clock. Sometimes it takes over 30 seconds for guys to get pitches going. So Bolender is the complete package. Every time he goes out there on the field, the team feels like they have a chance to win, and he does give you the chance to win every time he comes out on the field. As a coach, if you want to be just minorly picky, I told him he needs to get a couple more miles per hour. Get back and say 89 is not good enough, Jackson. Let's get you up to 90 to 92, and then he would be a D1 guy that all the schools are coming after. But those D1 programs, Tyler, are pretty snobbish when it comes to miles per hour, and they want guys that are in the low to mid 90s. And so that's kind of the one thing that's holding him back. Because when you talk about a guy like Jackson, people will say, well, if he's that good, why is he only? And it's just that weird recruiting game in college that they want that high velocity numbers. And frankly, guys, he's going to get when he goes to lane. I think he's working pretty hard. Get it up there to himself, and he'll probably get to your mid 90s. And I think you'll be seeing him play at a D1 level after a year or two at Lane Community College.
That's Who's on the Mound, brought to you by Bank of Utah. Their specialty is relationships. As one of the nation's top-performing banks, we are committed to you and to our community. Visit our friendly Heber branch at 620 West 100 South, and together we'll build relationships that last. Bank of Utah is an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Ty, you got me talking about Jackson, and I'm going to have to contain myself all game because I just think so highly of him. But I want to throw out just the defensive stopper out there, someone that you've been impressed with in this tournament for Wasatch, or just maybe a scheme of the team in general that's a defensive standout, brought to you by Points Tires.
Yeah, and it's Carter Bucad for me, Ty. He struggled at the plate. He comes into today only 1 of 9 from the plate in his at-bats in the 3 games. But besides the one error where he dropped a little bloop fly ball in the first game, he's been lights out. And it's just been impressive. He's a sophomore. We watched him as a freshman. The arm strength wasn't quite there to play shortstop at a varsity level, was playing really shallow for a varsity shortstop. We worked on that last year.
Explain that just a tiny bit more.
So when you look at a regular infield, you got your grass and then you have your dirt area. And you want a kid that can play at the edge of the grass on the outfield side of things and be able to still throw guys out. And Carter's doing that in this tournament. He's playing at the edge of the grass. He's working his way up from there. And he's done a great job of getting rid of it quick. He still can get a little bit stronger on the arm side of things, but he's getting rid of the ball quick, and he's looked really good at the shortstop position.
Yeah, he's got good lateral movement too, Tyler. And these are a lot of things that when you're watching a baseball game, you watch the ball usually, right? And so you don't look at the first step of a shortstop. But that's something that Carter does really well at the shortstop position, is he gets a good prep step getting into his motion as the pitch is coming in, and it makes him really quick on his reaction, and he covers a lot of ground both up the middle to his glove side and then obviously in the hole on the backhand side. So he's excellent over there at the shortstop position defensively, and his bat will come around. A young player finally got the monkey off the back with his first hit at the varsity level in the last game. But I agree, Tyler. I think he's been really good at the shortstop position for one.
Who are you looking for to be the UCCU spark of the game tonight against Desert Hills?
Well, Tyler, we haven't seen any long balls here. In fact, the closest we got was about the first pitch of the season, where Payton Swapp put that thing off the center field fence to start the first game of the year. And then since that, Wasatch just hasn't had a lot of big flies. But I do think this is a game where it's now warm. It's not cold. The balls tend to jump out a little bit more when it's a little bit hotter. And short porch over there, 325 to left, 326 to right, and 350 to center. That's going to be my spark. I'm looking for guys that can pop one out. Obviously, Payton Swapp leads that list. I wouldn't be surprised to see Chet Wilson maybe get one, maybe opposite field knock for Chet. He's kind of been locked going opposite field direction. And then a guy like Jackson Bolender has some pop where he could maybe deliver something of that nature, or Sam Gagan. There's a lot of options here. The big fly, extra base hits. Wasatch only had 1 extra base hit in that last game. And so I'm looking for that. Can we get a little extra base knocks and get things going, maybe even a big fly and a home run at some point? Finally, Tyler, your a good spot A moment of the game. What are you looking for here?
Just how many strikeouts Jackson Bolender is going to get. He struck. That's right. He struck out 12 last year against a pretty good team, and not to say this Desert Hill team isn't just as good, but he's a senior now. He's going to be coming up amped up, and I'm expecting a lot of Ks on the scoreboard today. You're listening to the Dairy King pregame show. We want to thank you for listening to the Dairy King pregame show. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have your Mountain Refined top of the first right after this. Welcome back to the top of the first inning. Your opening pitch brought to you by Mountain Refined. From design to project completion, our team excels in understanding and implementing your specific lifestyle and taste preferences into your interior design. Come into our showroom in order to find beautiful furniture, bedding, mattresses, decor, and so much more. That's Mountain Refined.
It's finally nice to get Desert Hills on a normal day.
Yeah.
Every year we've played them over the last handful of years. The overall record right now stands 4-2 in favor of Desert Hills against Wasatch. Desert Hills has won the last 4 games in this matchup, but there have been some strange games, some late night games, some cold, rainy games, and finally we've got a sunny 65 degrees out here right now, midday game, and it'll be fun to see both these teams locked in just a good old average high school baseball game here.
Crew Erickson will step in as the leadoff guy for the Wasps, 4 of 8 on the season with 3 RBIs. 3 coming against Carbon last night, went 3 for 4 in his last game. He's going to swing at the first pitch. He's going to muscle one over the shortstop's head for a leadoff single. 4 singles for Crew today in the game, and he is perfect, 5 for 5 on getting on base. His lone time he didn't get on base was a error by the shortstop, but still was a nice hustle play as he moved to second base on the overthrow.
Yeah, those are the balls that for some reason Crew just couldn't find any luck last year to get to fall in, and already he's having a great start to the season here. And the ball is his friend so far, just finding its way down.
Chet's going to be the number 2 guy. He's going to square to bunt. Crew's going to go back to first on the throw over. Pitcher today for the Desert Hills Thunder is Irvin, 2-2 last year in his 4 varsity appearances that he made. Also had 18 RBIs. He's going to be the number 3 hitter for Desert Hills today.
He's going to be the best arm that Wasatch sees down here at this tournament.
Irvin delivers. Chet's going to pull back on the high pitch outside. Third baseman's charging hard. The rest of the infield rotating towards first base.
And Ty, when I say best arm, he's going to sit in the 80s is where he's going to float for most of the game, and he's got multiple pitches he can throw for a strike as well.
Chet's going to square again. He's giving himself up here. There's the pitch. That's going to be a strike, making the count 1-1.
Boy, Chet's got that third baseman about 40 feet away when that ball is coming across home plate. And he's an opposite field guy. He could certainly sneak one by if Coach wants to turn him loose here.
Crew not a big lead over at first base. Irvin's going to come set. Chet's going to square again. Now he's going to throw over. Crew very easily back. Not a big lead at all for Crew Erickson over at first base. Did get picked off stealing last game, or thrown out stealing last game in one of the final innings. And we're back at it. 1-1, nobody out, top of the first. Irvin sets. Delivers. Chet lays down the bunt right back to Irvin. Irvin's going to throw it over to first. Nice sacrifice bunt here for Chet Wilson. And Crew will move over to second base. And Wasatch has a guy in scoring position right off the bat with Payton Swapp coming up in the number 3 spot.
Yeah, and you might see a little strategy here in this one where Wasatch just says we just need to get 1 or 2 runs early on and let Bolender do his thing. We feel like Jackson's going to hold teams below 3 runs for sure when he gets out there on the mound. In fact, the stat of the day, Jackson Bolender has only 1 time in his whole high school career given up more than 3 runs, and that was in his last game of the season against Olympus High School last year.
Crew Erickson on second base. He's going to now try a back pick, and Crew was late getting back. If it would have been a good throw, it would have been a pickoff there at second base. Instead, Crew was able to get underneath the tag. Crew just kind of fell asleep a little bit, maybe took his eye off the pitcher. Good pickoff move there from Irvin. Here's the first pitch to Payton Swapp. He's going to take a strike on the outside corner.
I don't know if you've noticed Payton right now. He's kind of lunging out. He's not moving directly back towards the pitcher. Every single time there's little inconsistencies with where his feet are. He needs to get just a little bit more fluid with his motion moving forward towards the pitcher as he's stepping to get balanced.
It's 1 strike on Swapp. Irvin's going to come set. Doesn't take a look at at Erickson, and he's going to deliver another swing and a miss to Payton Swapp. Shout out to Croft Erickson, his little sister, who's in my math class. All right, 2 strikes. Crew takes the lead at second base. 2-strike count here. No balls. Irvin taking his time getting the pitch. Now gets it, sets, takes 1 look at Crew. Crew bounces off. The 0-2 swung on and missed. Payton Swapp strikes out in his first at bat with a runner in scoring position. That's going to bring up Cole Zimmerman for the Wasps in the cleanup spot.
Cole is what you would say due, Tyler. Last year he hit hovering around 350 for the majority of the season. As only a sophomore last year and was a consistent starter in the lineup throughout the majority of the season. Had a slow start to the year here, but don't give up on him here early. He's a kid that can control the bat and can really have a big year for Wasatch.
Yeah, currently 0 for 8 in his 8 at-bats that he's had. Crew bouncing around is going to force Irvin to step off the back of the mound. Shortstop's going to give a little bit of a signal here. Crew almost got picked off right off the bat after getting to second base on the sacrifice bunt from Chet Wilson, who's hitting in the 2 spot today.
And that has been a bit of an issue in this tournament, Tyler. Wasatch has had 3 guys picked off and 1 guy caught stealing.
It's going to get through the catcher. It's a pitch is low in the zone, gets underneath the legs of the catcher. The catcher today for Desert Hills is Musgrave, the number 9 hitter. Gets underneath, and now Wasatch has a chance with the guy on third with 2 outs. 1 ball, no strikes to Zimmerman. Irvin, deep breath, goes on the rubber. He's going to stay in the stretch with Crew on third base. Sets, no look, delivers, and Cole gets a hold of this one. It's going to right center field. I think he's got him, and there you go. Cole Zimmerman breaks out of his slump with a double to the right center field gap. It's going to score Crew, and Wasatch takes its first lead. First lead. They have fallen behind in every game in this tournament, but they take the 1-0 lead here in the top of the first on the RBI double from Cole Zimmerman.
Yeah, Ty, and that brings home to one of our Country Gardens and Nursery keys to the game that we're looking for. Maybe some breakout extra base hits. And Cole Zimmerman right off the bat gets the double to the right center gap and burn that outfield. Good to see Cole break that one open. Hopefully that gets him a little bit more relaxed. He seemed tense before the game when I walked out there next to him, Tyler, and hopefully he can relax a little bit after that one.
Yeah, I got a good fastball up in the zone. It's going to bring up now Jack Bluth. Jack Bluth as well is going to get his first hit of the season. Let's see if Cole has some wheels. He's got to be able to get home. Center fielder's going to come up throwing the lefty. The ball tailing to the right. Cole Zimmerman comes home, and back-to-back base hit RBIs for the 2 lefties, Jack Bluth and Cole Zimmerman, and Wasatch has a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and back-to-back monkeys off the back moments. That's Jack Bluth's first hit of the year as well in 4 games. And now both of them can take a deep breath, and let's just get moving on with the season here. Okay, you got that out of the way, and now they can get down to business on what we know they're capable of doing.
Nice little RBI there from Jack Bluth on his first hit of the season. That's going to bring up Zach Pinter. Zach Pinter comes in 2 for 4 on the year, 500 on base percentage as well. Playing right field today for the Wasps. Jack Bluth, a decent lead over at first base. 1 look and a delivery. It's a fastball low in the zone, ball 1.
Good 2-out hitting here for Wasatch, Tyler. If you want to look at just a whole bunch of analytics that seem to matter with championship teams, hitting with runners in scoring position, not striking out with runners in scoring position, and then, of course, 2-out knocks. You can get the job done with 2 outs, and Wasatch is doing it well early on in the first inning.
The 1-0 is a strike on the outside part of the plate, moves the count to 1-1. Top half of the first, Wasatch up 2-0.
Zach Pinter has some wheels for Tyler. I feel like any time he could lay a bunt down and steal a base hit if he wanted to go that route. Third base playing deep behind the bag.
The 1-1 swung on, sort of. It's going to be a strike, but the ball's in the dirt. Jack Bluth's going to take second base on the ball in the dirt. Great read from Jack Bluth. And now with a 1-2 count on Zach Pinter, Wasatch has another guy in scoring position.
Well, let's see if we can get another 2-out knock here and break this one open. Boy, if you give Jackson Bolender a 3-run lead in the first inning, that's a huge deal here. See if he can pitch with just some relaxation and confidence.
Herman taking a long time getting back on the mound. A little bit of some demons through this Desert Hills Thunder team. Desert Hills 0-2. I can't remember the last time Desert Hills was 0-2. They were the number 1 RPI team last year going into the state tournament. Got upset in the quarterfinals by Bear River.
Ty, they've been loaded with next-level talent as well. A couple years ago, they sent a kid over to Cal
Poly.
State Fullerton,
I
believe, and Cal Poly as well. I think Pepperdine as well. They may have sent a kid in, then had one that went up to BYU last year as well. So they've been loaded with D1 talent.
1-2 is once again in the dirt. Zach checks his swing, ball call, and Jack Bluth's going to go ahead and take third base on another ball in the dirt. Great job there from Jack. And just like that, we got a 2-2 count with the guy on third base. 2 outs, 2-0 lead for the Wasps.
Yeah, Jack looks good out there running the bases. He's totally locked in and engaged on the base paths right now. And, you know, he's going to be licking his chops for another ball that maybe will squirt outside the dirt here. if Irving continues to throw these things in the dirt and have his catcher struggling.
And he's going to strike out looking on a ball on the right-hand side. As Wasatch gets 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. Those runs today brought to you by Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, your rehabilitation specialist dedicated to your total recovery from sports and commercial. Let Dan Ivey and his team get you back to 100%.
Hills High School, and it got started on the bat of Cole Zimmerman, who had our first Gravity Coalition extra base hit of the game. Gravity Coalition offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more in Heber Valley. Personalized service, sales, and repair for the love. Gravity Coalition. Coalition.com. This is a cool shop. Going to the bottom of the inning here, Tyler. Wasatch with their first inning lead of the tournament here, and they've been in every game. See if they can wrap up this first inning with the lead on the arm of Jackson Bolender. And first inning action is brought to you by Mountain Refined. Design to project completion, our team excels in understanding and implementing your specific lifestyle and taste preferences into your interior design. Come into our shop to find beautiful furniture, bedding, mattresses, decor, and so much more. That's Mountain Refined.
Yeah, a tiny little Wasatch history. Wasatch opened this ballpark against Desert Hills back in 2009 with a victory. Brock Carlson, Raymond was on that team as Wasatch was able to get the victory. Swinging on the first pitch is Cole. Ground ball to Bucad. Bucad throws it across. Good dig over by Cole Zimmerman, and Wasatch is in time to get the leadoff guy.
You're exactly right. That was a great play from Cole Zimmerman there, Tyler. Bucad had that thing drifting a little bit down the first base line and a little bit short, and Zimmerman stretched out, used that 6'5" frame, and the lefty reached over and picked it just out of the dirt while keeping his foot on the bag. That's a good pull.
That's going to bring up the shortstop Goobler. 2 home runs last year, 10 RBIs in the 2021 campaign. He'll face off here against Jackson Bolender, the ace for the Wasps. They've saved him until game 4. Gets the leadoff guy on 1 pitch. Fastball up in the zone, ball 1 to the second batter.
And Ty's arm should be fresh. Jackson has not played in the field yet in this tournament. He DH'd in 1 game.
1-0 fastball is going to be roped down the left field line. Goobler's going to round first. He's going to go into second base easily. Crew Erickson's going to get it into Bucad, who's going to bobble it a little bit. And a 1-out double for Goobler as he ropes that one down the left field line.
Yeah, Goobler, speaking of BYU commits, I'm fairly certain that was the player BYU was down here watching last year when they kind of had their eyes opened by Jackson Bolender. 12 of the Desert Hills hitters that he faced in the first 5 innings.
Yeah, good job by Bolender. It was a pitch on the inside part of the plate, which a fastball on the inside part of the plate for Bolender is a tough pitch to hit. Go back. It's going to be inside for ball 1. McPhee a little bit crossed up there. Wanted to talk to Bolender. Guy on second base need to make sure their secondary signs are available. A new rule here for the Wasatch High School, Utah High School baseball is that the catchers can use an earpiece, and you don't have to signal in pitches anymore. You can just use a microphone and can signal in pitches by telling the players what the pitch is.
And for all you people, Tyler, you know I am in the way minority here, but for all you people so upset at the Houston Astros and what they did, what's your what's your call on this? You're using technology in high school athletics with earpieces now and calling in pitches. How does that fit in?
I just want quarterbacks to be able to do it. That's all I'm asking.
In high school football,
oh yeah, of
with
course.
the quarterback, that would make more sense than even with baseball and the catchers.
Fastball on the outside part of the plate is going to be fouled out of play. It's going to move the count to 1-1. Desert Hills with a guy on second base. Wasatch got the leadoff guy out. This hitter is the pitcher, Irvin. Had 18 RBIs last year, and 2-2 on the mound. Wasn't one of their main guys. So I guess I heard that, when they do the quarterback thing in the pros, that you turn off the mic when the play starts, which I guess makes sense. But how do they even know that? Like, how would they know if the coach turns it off or not?
There's some I don't know.
There's no way you
but
could
there's
know
some
that.
interesting rules to that. You can have two guys with earpieces. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you could put it in anyone's helmet that you want. It didn't have to be the quarterback.
Okay.
But the idea is then if your backup needs to come in, he would have one in his headset as well. But you could put it in your running back, I guess, in theory, if you wanted to do that as well.
Curveball down in the zone, moves the count to 2-2. It was a fastball on the inside part of the plate on the pitch before that. So we've got a 2-2 count with one out, the guy in scoring position for the Desert Hills Thunder. Wasatch 2, Desert Hills 0. We're in the bottom half of the first inning. Irvin at the plate from the left-hand side. Fastball up in the zone. Irvin's going to elevate it. He's got Payton Swapp burned. It's going to go off the wall in left center field. Gubler's going to score easy, and Irvin's going to think about a triple. Not going to get there. He's going to stop at the double, and just a fastball up in the zone a little bit, and the lefty Irvin elevates it, nearly gets it out of the park, and it's going to be an RBI double for Irvin, making the score 2-1.
Yeah, pretty quiet, smooth swing there from Irvin. Just got a ball up in the zone. Didn't try to do too much. He let the power coming from Bolender's arm do the work and nearly hit that one out of the park.
Next up is going to be number 5, Terry. Terry playing third base today for the Desert Hills Thunder in the same situation we just had. Guy on second in scoring position. Hitter is a righty this time. Jackson Bolender giving up a couple of doubles early on in this ball game. Fastball is going to be, curveball, and they're going to say he went. Don't know if I agree with that, but it's going to be a strike swinging here to get this count going.
So here's a little St. George old school wisdom, Tyler, based on what we've seen. These St. George teams are used to hard throwing arms. They play ball all year long. They go to competitive tournaments. And I'll let that pitch go by, another called strike. So if you come down and think you're going to blow them away with 88 to 90, that's just not surprising to a lot of these St. George teams. What you have to do is get their minds thinking off speed. And that's where I've found success against these guys as I was the pitching coach over the last few years, is you get them in the early innings thinking about off-speed pitches, and then come later innings, you have a chance to put the fastball by them because they're looking with the off-speed pitches.
Great jump here by Irvin at second base as the ball in the dirt's going to pop away from Crew Erickson in front of him, but the good jumps allows Irvin to move to third base. Now you have a guy on third, one out. 1-2 count to Terry. Bolender's going to set, delivers the 1-2, high in the zone, gets him swinging. First, physical at the fifth stop, strikeout for Jackson Bolender in the ballgame is the second out of the inning. The Physical at the Fifth Stop is your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic, serving you from head to toe, including vertigo to sports injuries, serving the Heber Valley for over 40 years.
It's a big punch out, Tyler, and that's what Bolender gives you that a lot of pitchers don't. You get a runner on third, and normally less than 2 outs, you feel like there's a high probability they're going to score. It's just not that way with Jackson. He can come get a punch out at any given time for you. And he kind of gets locked in when there are runners on third. He finds a new competitive level.
Catcher's going to come up, and he's going to get a fastball, and he's going to smoke that thing down the line, but it's going to go foul. Catcher is Willie, hitting from the left-hand side again today. Number 5 hitter for Desert Hills.
And Ty, you notice what Desert Hills is doing?
Hunting that first pitch fastball
that they're looking for, and it's what they want to do down here. And if you can get them off balance and keep them off balance, you find more success in these early innings.
The 0-1 comes in off to the outside. McPhee was set up on the inside. Bolender misses that one a little bit. Makes the count 1-1 with 2 outs.
And, it doesn't take much. You don't need to be throwing a ton of curveballs, but what you do want to do is give some guys that don't traditionally get curveballs early in the count, give them a few curveballs early in the count.
Low fastball, not getting the strike. Crew Cray thought that might have been a strike, but it's going to move the count to 2-1. Again, 2 outs. The score 2-1 here in the bottom half of the first inning. Wasatch was able to generate 2 runs on back-to-back RBI hits from Cole Zimmerman and Jack Bluth. The 2-1, swung on and missed. There's your off-speed changeup, Ty, and it's just such a wicked pitch that Bolender throws. Looks just like a fastball, but he has probably 15-mile-an-hour difference in those pitches, and that makes the count 2-2 with 2 outs. Bolender sets the 2-2. Inside, and it's going to go off of Willie's calf. And a too bad hit by pitch there. He's going to put Willie on base. And you now have runners on first and third with 2 outs. Right fielder's going to come up, number 14, Mo. T-Mo. That's your nickname in high school oftentimes on the baseball pass.
Out at me in high school, so blast back to the past with that one, Ty.
And here's the difference with some of these Desert Hills and the St. George schools is the speed-up runner that just came in has about 2 inches on Cole Zimmerman. Now, Cole Zimmerman's the tallest player on the Wasatch team, I believe, and this kid's got 2 inches on him. I mean, that's the type of athlete that these St. George schools generate.
Yeah, he's standing at least 6'7".
At least 6'7".
At least 6'7", the speed-up runner.
He just took 3 steps off, and he's halfway to second base. First and third, nobody out. He's going to go on the first pitch. Craig's going to stand up, decides not to throw it, and just like that, you got second and third, 1 ball on the pitch that was in the dirt, and Wasatch having a little bit of a hard time getting out of this first inning. He took 4 steps, and he was there. The 1-0 pitch from Bolender. Bolender's going to get it, and now he's going to set. Takes a deep breath, delivers, fastball inside, gets the call. Jackson Bolender 1-1. Talk to us a little bit, Ty, about the importance of pitchers being able to go inside like Bolender is able to do.
Well, velocity always helps, Tyler, but when you've got velocity and going inside, hitters, they believe, and rightfully so, a lot of times that the pitcher is going to try to attack them on the outside, because that's in high school baseball, that's where hitters are not the most comfortable. And so what hitters will do is they'll try to cheat and lean over the outside, and it leaves a hole exposed on the inside of their swing. And so they're kind of giving up coverage, anticipating to get over to the outer half of the plate, especially when you get down usually to the 6, 7, 8, 9 spots in the lineup. Those are ones that have holes in their swings. And if you can get in on the hands, you can sometimes catch people by surprise and take away that outside part of the plate as well.
He goes back inside on that one, not able to get the call. That'll move the count to 2-2.
It's almost counterintuitive as well, Tyler. People think if you go inside, that's where hitters will kind of bail out and try to hit the ball. But the truth is the hitters that are bailing out are generally a little afraid of the ball in the first place, and so they're not too mechanically sound to even catch up to velocity on the inside anyway. And so your good hitters are going to stay in there solid and be looking for something middle outer half and try to go over and cover that. And you can really get a lot of damage on the inside part of the plate.
Ball 3, it's going to bring up a full count. He's going to hook this one, and it's going to go over Zach Pinner's head and off the wall. That's going to score 2 more runs and another double, the 3rd double of the inning for Desert Hills. That time coming from the right fielder, Mo, who got a fastball up in the zone. He elevated it on a full count, and it's a 2 RBI double over the right fielder's head for Desert Hills.
Well, and just like that, Wasatch has squandered their lead. Down now 3-2 in the bottom of the first inning. And I'll tell you, I'm a little stunned. I'm stunned that they went out and have hit Jackson so well in this tournament early on here. Desert Hills has to be playing with a little desperation, though, Tyler. As you talked about 0-2 coming into this one, losing to Park City in their first game of this tournament as well. 6-4.
Fastball elevated. He'll miss on the leadoff pitch. It's going to be Bland, the Desert designated hitter. Another fastball up in the zone. The umpire wanted to call it a strike, but he's not going to give him. 2-0 now the count to Bland, the number 7 hitter for Desert Hills. Bolender sets. Runner on second base. 2-0 count. Pitch in there. That one's called for a strike. Make it a 2-1 count now to the number 7 hitter. Desert Hills takes the lead 3-2. Wasatch put up 2 runs in the top of the first, but has now given up 3 runs in the bottom of the first thanks to 3 doubles by the Desert Hills hitters. Curveball that time, gets him swinging, brings the count back to 2-2 with 2 outs.
Ty, he hit his spot perfectly there. Cray didn't have to move his glove at all from the bottom of the zone. Sometimes the term we'd use is hit the kneecaps there at the top of the knees where Cray had his glove settled there, and he didn't even have to move it on that curveball. 2-2
pitch, and it's going to be a single over the shortstop's head as Desert Hills has simplified their swings, and they look good early on. And it's another RBI hit for Desert Hills with 2 outs. And just like that, 4-2. And you mentioned it, Ty. The Gordon Law Group stat of the game was Jackson Bolender has only 1 game in his career where he's given up over 3 earned runs. And he's got 4 earned runs in this first inning against Desert Hills.
Yeah, call it a slump because those 2 games have been the last 2 starts for Jackson. And Olympus got him for 8 runs in the final game of the season last year. And Desert Hills now 4 in the first inning.
It's going to bring up the left fielder, Clough.
Jackson's already up to 28 pitches as well, Tyler. And you were anticipating getting at least 5 innings from Jackson at this one, and at this rate, he just won't get there if he keeps going at this rate.
Curveball, first pitch strike called there to Clough. Utah called it tight. You got to mix up some of those off speeds. They do it on that one with a little curveball. Puts the count ahead 0-1 for Jackson Bolender with the guy on first base. 1 stolen base already on the inning for Desert Hills. Bolender pauses a little bit more. Ball in the dirt. Bland thinks about heading to second. Doesn't do it. McPhee does a good job of smothering that, making the count now 1-1. A little bit of a surprise here. Clough takes a little second to get into the box, getting a sign from the coach down the third baseline. Fastball again. This one's going to be down to shallow center. Jack Bluth going back, and he makes the grab. Great play from Jack Bluth. That would have scored another run. Probably not have scored another run. But a big out there as Wasatch falls down 4-2 to Desert Hills in the first inning. Desert Hills scores 4 runs on 4 hits. No errors for the Wasps in the game. They do leave 1 stranded. Coming up for the Wasps in the top of the half of the second, Jackson Bolender, Kelson Stocking, Carter Bucad. Your second inning brought to you by Wasatch Back Flooring. From the words of the Wasatch Back customers, from start to finish, the entire transaction was honest, professional, and meticulous. Highly recommend Wasatch Back Flooring and Paint. Thanks, Dan, and your team for Wasatch Back Flooring and Paint. It's going to be Jackson Bolender to lead off this top half of the second inning. Wasatch down 4-2 after giving up a 4 spot in the first. Jackson Bolender trying to help himself out here at the plate. Comes into the game 2 for 3, and he gets a hold of one. It's going to go to left field. I don't think he got all of it, though, as left fielder is back. But how about that? Jackson Bolender helps himself out with a solo home run on the first pitch of the top half of the second.
Ty, didn't I tell you? He's got a chance to pop one out of here. It's a short porch on the left. And, I'm going to pat myself on the back there with my UCC spark of the game. I said look for a swap, Bolender, someone like that to knock one out. And Bolender, you could tell he was going up there angry. Jackson did not like how that first inning went. And boy, oh boy, did he make it count. Home run to left field.
That extra base hit brought to you by Gravity Coalition, offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more. That's going to bring up now Kelson Stocking. Kelson Stocking 2 for 6 with an RBI, 429 on-base percentage on the year so far for Kelson Stocking. Had a double off that same wall in the first game against Park City. He takes a first pitch strike.
And I don't think your call is wrong when you said I don't think you got enough of it. If you can feel there's some wind gusting from home plate pushing out to left field, and he got that ball up high enough that I got a little jet stream help as it cleared the fence by about 4 to 5 feet.
0-2 pitch, and Kelson swings. And, they must not have called that first pitch a strike. Sorry, 1-2 now. First pitch was not a strike. Looked good from here. But a 1-2 count now as Kelson gets fooled on that last one. Kelson DHing today for the catcher, Cray McPhee. Irvin sets, delivers the 1-2. It's inside for ball 2, 2-2. That run also that crosses the plate brought to you by Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, your rehabilitation specialist dedicated to your total recovery from sports injuries, auto injuries, industrial and or commercial injuries.
Yeah, and Jackson Bolender may need some of that after rounding first base. I don't know, you saw how aggressively he was pounding his hands together after hitting that out. He plays with that we used to joke, you know, when it was time to take him out of a ball game, who's going to do it? Because
exactly.
you didn't want to have a kid kill you when you went out there to the mound, because he's just such an aggressive player. And you could see it there. He was violently clapping his hands together in excitement that he hit that ball out of the park.
2-2 count is fouled off. Reset at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch again is going to be low and inside. Full count.
Good quality bat here from Kelson, Tyler. Make Irvin work. Both these pitchers, I think, came out and you're expecting a pitching duel.
You bet.
Here we are already in the top of the second inning. And it's been good knocks. These teams are both squaring the ball up. Not cheap hits that are happening out in this one.
And it's going to be a walk for Kelson as he gets on base once again. His on-base percentage has been good as Wasatch starts off the second inning with a bomb and now a walk. And that's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, Carter Bucad. 1 for 9 on the season with an RBI. On-base percentage of .273.
Boo Bear is what they call him, the nickname Bucad as a freshman.
Hey, boo-boo.
And that's what he's known as in the Dutch. So
I think we got to give a shout-out to Chase Roberts for that one, the offensive coordinator. Small lead for Kelson Stocking. We're going to go down for a bunt, and Bucad's going to pop it up down the first base side, but it's going to go foul before the first baseman can come up and make the play. And 1 strike on Carter. This is a spot where you have to be able to lay down a bunt, and Coach Scholl used to preach it. Is if you're in a slump, one of the best things you can do is just get down a good, solid bunt. Get the bat on the ball. Good spot here for Carter to move over the runner for Crew Erickson, who's probably the hottest hitter right now for the Wasps. Slash situation, it's a slash and run. Ooh, almost had a chance to get it down that third baseline. Instead, it's going to go right to the third baseman. He does move the runner over.
Worked exactly like a bunt would have, Tyler. He hit that ball on the front of the plate, and it bounced up 2 times before it got to third. So even though it was a full swing, it was still effective on what they were going for. He just unfortunately has me in the book that has to record that as an out rather than a sacrifice. So the stats will be hurt there, Tyler, but he got the job done for what the team wanted.
And that's what Coach McKay's trying to preach, right? He's preaching the unselfishness, move the guys over, and now Wasatch with back-to-back innings has a chance with a guy on second base. Kelton Stocking, medium lead at second base. Crew Erickson's been hot. 4 singles in the 2 games so far today. Curveball on the inside part of the plate, misses, ball 1. And when we say singles, these aren't bloop singles. He's laced these things. It's just gone right to the outfielders. A little bit right or left on all of them would have been double or even triple. If you let the ball get by you on Crew, he has a great chance of getting a triple. Great speed starting in left field in all 4 games today.
Notice after he jumped on that first pitch of the game, they did not want to give him a fastball to start in the second at bat.
3 looks to Stocking, now delivers another off-speed pitch, and it's going to be fouled. Fooled Crew. He was looking fastball on the 1-0. It was off speed. He fouls it off down the third base side. 1-1 now the count.
And that is what you want to be hunting here, Tyler. But this Desert Hills team is well coached, and they've got good pitching. And this pitcher knows he's coming through the lineup a second time. So expect there to be a different sequence of how he goes about his business. And you're seeing it already to Crew. 2 pitches, 2 curveballs, even hitters count.
1-1. The count now to Crew. 1 out. Guy on second. Fastball this time. Crew gets underneath it. He's going to pop it up down the first base side. First baseman for Desert Hills gets underneath it, makes the catch. First baseman down there is who we're DHing for, and I forgot to write it down. Fox.
Yeah, that's a big first baseman to not have in the lineup here, Tyler. You usually don't see a first base DH. Often that's where you put a big bat in a power spot out there. That was a good job from Irving. I want to tip my cap. I felt like he completely owned Crew Erickson, who's been hot bat on that. He got him guessing a little bit. Like curveball first, missed on the curveball on the second one, and then the timing was off after seeing 2 curveballs. The fastball and Crew's timing was off there on the 3rd pitch.
2 outs brings up the number 2 hitter, Chet Wilson. He's been batting third, moves to the second spot. Right on that fastball, fouls it straight back. Chet on the year 3 of leads the team with 4 RBIs and has an on-base percentage of .364. Had a triple yesterday against Carbon that cleared the bases. The 0-1. Swung on again, and this one's laced down the left field side. This has a chance to score Kelts, and he's going to round, and he's going to score easily. Bobbles by the outfield, but it's going to be a double for Chet Wilson and another RBI hit for the number 2 hitter. And Wasatch ties up the game once again at 4-4. That's going to bring up Payton Swapp. Payton starting off a little bit slow, 2 of 8 on the year, hitting .250. Does have an RBI. He's been hitting in the leadoff spot. Coach Jacobson opts to move him to the number 3 spot today. And Payton's a guy, Ty, that used to always try to tell a joke when he's about 2 of 8. He hasn't had a hit in a while. Just go tell him a little joke or tell him a Princess Leia story from Star Wars. Get a smile on his face and see if you can get something rolling for him. Chet playing in second base. It's going to be an off speed that fools Swapp. Chet doesn't see it go through the catcher's legs, and he's going to have to stay at second base. Tough break there from the Wasps, and it's strike 1 to Payton. One strike, no balls. 4-4 here in the top half of the second inning. A lot of scoring early on. It's because of hits. Both teams swinging the bat well. 2 looks at Chet at second base. Make it a 3rd look. Now Irvin will lift the leg and deliver the 0-1. It's off the mark, no good. Chet thinks about taking 3rd. He'll bounce back to second base. 1-1. Now the count to Swapp. Swapp struck out his first time. Having a hard time seeing that off speed. See if he can get a hold of one here. 5 home runs last year for Payton Swapp in his junior year campaign. Didn't have a sophomore year because of the COVID year. Lifts the leg, delivers the 1-1. Another off-speed pitch. It's going to be called a strike, and it's now 1-2. One-two is swung on and fouled off of his foot, so we'll reset at 1-2. That extra base hit once again brought to you by Gravity Coalition. Second extra base hit of the year for Chet Wilson. Had a triple against Carbon and now a double here against Desert Hills. And a good answer for Wasatch. You give up 4. Team could get down a little bit that your ace gave up 4 in the first inning, but they bounce back. And it helps when your ace hits a solo shot in order to start the second inning. That's right. Irvin taking a long time. He's now going to step off the back. A little bit of confusion between the pitcher and catcher there. Chet bounces off. Decent lead. Settle about 12 feet from the bag. Irvin comes set. He's going to deliver without taking a look. And it's going to be a fastball on the outside part. Swing and a miss as Payton Swapp has a second K of the game. But Wasatch answers, scoring 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors. They do leave 1 on base. It's going to be the number 9-1-2 hitters for Desert Hills, Musgraves, Cole, Gubler on the bottom half of the second. Number 9 hitter is Musgraves, and he's going to take a strike on the inside part of the plate. Good fastball there from Jackson Bolender, who gave up 4, which is more than he's given up in every single game except for 1 of his entire career, and he does it in the first inning. Now he's moving inside now. Looks good as he throws an off-speed pitch there on the outside part of the plate, and he's up 0-2. Did hit a solo home run in the top half of the second inning to help himself out. 0-2 count. He's moving quick. Swung on, fouled off down the first base side, and we'll reset at 0-2. Your infield has been the same infield every game of this tournament. Chet Wilson at third, Carter Bucott at short. Jack Bluth playing second base, and Cole Zimmerman playing first base, playing a deep first base right here. 0-2 tries to go up into the zone, and Musgrave will take it. We'll move now to 1-2. Craig McPhee behind the dish. Him and Stocking have shared the catching duties in this tournament. Fastball on the outside part of the plate, and another good piece of hitting as that ball's going to drop in front of Swapp, as Musgrave will start off the second inning with a single to the left center field side. Going to bring up the leadoff guy with a swing and a miss on an off-speed curveball to start off the at-bat. You called it, Ty. You need to switch it up with some off-speed. Wasatch does it there. Cole grounded out to the shortstop to start off the game. Fastball right off the edge of the plate makes the count 1-1. The leadoff guy is on first with a single. And now we're back to the top of the order for the Desert Hills Thunder. Deadlocked 4-4 here in the bottom of the second inning. Final game of the Desert Hills Invitational. Wasatch will have a week off for spring break, and then they're back down here at Springville. At Snow Canyon. This ball's hit well, and it's going to go off the wall in left center field. Another double for Salem Hills. Desert Hills is going to try to score all the way from first. Great relight from Jack Bluth. Off the mark, and now Cole's going to try to get to third base and does so on the overthrow, and it's going to go into the book as a double, RBI double, and then advances to third on the throw. 4 doubles for Desert Hills in this ball game as they continue to barrel up. Jackson Bolender on the mound. Going to bring up Gubler, who had a double to that same spot to left field last time up. Wasatch playing deep against his Desert Hills team. Back-to-back swings and misses on off-speed pitches from Jackson Bolender makes the count 0-2. Cole on third base, already with an RBI double in this second inning, gives Desert Hills back the lead 5-4. The 0-2 pitch, swung on, hard ground ball to Chet Wilson, right at Chet, who's able to throw out Cole going home. Great job from Chet there, had his head up, made the nice field, good throw. Craig McPhee puts down the tag, and Wasatch has their first out of the second inning, and it's a big one, getting the guy out at third base. Gubler on first base now, brings up the number 3 hitter. It's going to be a hard ground ball up the middle. Jack Bluth's going to scoop it, hand it to Bucad, who slings it to first base. Not in time for the double play. Good turn, though, from the middle infield. Gets the leadoff guy, and we now have 2 outs with the guy on first. Almost had our first double play of the infield of the season. Had a double play from the outfield in our last game as Payton Swapp caught a ball and then threw out a guy going home, but have yet to have an infield double play this season. big lead over there for Irvin, as he has to bounce back on a throw from Jackson Bolender. Had to take 2 or 3 steps just to get back before the slide. Good quick player here, pitcher as well for Desert Hills. He's going to take off on the first pitch. It's a fastball. Cray with the throw down, not in time. Irvin with the stolen base. Ball was down in the zone. Oh, no, they called it a strike. So 1 strike to the hitter, Terry, who struck out in his first at bat, but that moves the runner over into scoring position. 1 strike, no balls. Bolender sets, doesn't take a look, throws a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Make the count 0-2 with back-to-back fastballs for strikes here to Terry. Don't have a lot of pitches to waste at this point. Resets. Now he's going to come set. Takes 1 look. 0-2 pitch is a changeup, and he gets him. He freezes him. Looking. Second strikeout of the game, both coming to Terry. Physical at the Fit Stop is your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic, serving you from head to toe, including vertigo to sports injury, serving the Heber Valley for over 40 years. Desert Hills scores 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. Coming up for the Wasps will be 4, 5, 6. Zimmerman, Jag Bluth, and Zach Pinner in the top half of the 3rd. Wasatch Napa Auto Parts is your sponsor for the 3rd inning. Auto parts, tools, and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today, Wasatch Napa Auto Parts. Wasatch 4, Desert Hills 5 as we go into the top half of the 3rd inning. Wasatch scoring 2 runs in both the first and the second innings. Desert Hills put up a 4 spot in the first and then was held to 1 run there in the second. And Tyler, we built up Jackson Bolender, and still rightfully so, but what are your thoughts on why Desert Hills has had some success? 4 doubles already in this game for Desert Hills through the first 2 innings.
Well, and the ball is finding its way down, but they've scattered it to all parts of the field. And Tyler, they've just been jumping on the fastball. They're not hitting off-speed pitches, and so they're early in the count to get on the fastball, and I think that's part of it. To know for sure, but in the past, Bolender would get frustrated if he wasn't given the low strike, and that could sometimes lead to some emotional elevation, and he has been a little bit more elevated, and I'm not sure if that's just mechanically his arm is not quite in ready to go here today, coming out of the winter season in his first game, or if this is an umpire zone that's got him feeling like he needs to elevate.
Cole Zimmerman comes up to lead off the top half of the 3rd. Got his first hit of the season, and it was a rifle to the right center field fence. Doubled on that one and an RBI as well. He would end up scoring in the inning, and now he'll take the first 2 pitches for balls. 2-0 the count here in the top half of the 3rd.
Yeah, Irving not missing close on that one. The catcher fully extending the arm outside on the outer half of the plate.
2-0 hitter's count is delivered, and Cole is going to watch that one on the inside half of the plate, making the count 2-1. Desert Hills playing straight up, 3rd baseman playing in, 1st baseman playing back. Irvin sets out of the stretch, delivers a fastball. This one's hit hard right at the first baseman, who's able to get the short hop. He'll step on the bag, and that's the first out of the inning.
Thought Fox had picked that one off of the fly. He ran over to first anyway, too.
Jack Bluth now up for the Wasps. He as well got his first hit of the season in the first inning with an RBI single over the second baseman's head. Now over 500 on his on-base percentage, though. 1 for 6 in the box, but has gotten on base over 6 more times due to walks. He's going to swing at the first pitch and go the opposite way this time. Pushes it back, and that's going to drop in front of the left fielder. That's something that Jack's added to his game. Jack was a dead pull hitter as a younger classman and does a good job on that first pitch fastball on the outside part of the plate of going over the shortstop's head. And Jack Bluth's now 2 for 2.
Yeah, the left fielder, Clough, seemed to be a little confused by that. That ball came over right to where he was standing, and instead he backpedaled the whole way and let that go in. You might, say he's, who's the guy for the Atlanta Falcons that was betting on the Falcons?
Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley. That was one of those moments, right, where you look and say, what's that kid doing backing up? Because he definitely had a chance to go catch that, but he kind of gifts Bluth a hit on what was a good barrel from Jack, but it was just right at the fielder.
It's going to bring up Zach Pinner, struck out looking his first at bat, 2 for 5 now on the season for the right fielder. Throw over to Jack, not in time. First pitch ball was delivered to Zach, making the count 1-0. Quick pitch here on Pinter, but it's going to be low in the zone. A little off-speed action makes the count 2-0. Jackson Bolender on deck, hit a solo home run in his first at bat in the second inning. On the mound as well for the Wasps. Irvin takes a peek, now comes set. Now he's going to throw over. Jack Bluth gets back easily. Good lead over there for Jack. Jack smaller in size. Good speed, though, on the base pass. Just doesn't have to take takes probably swung on. Pop fly to right field, shallow right field, and that's going to drop. Didn't look like that was going to drop, but already in this inning, some questionable outfield play from the Desert Hills outfield. The left fielder looked like he had a beat on Jack Bluth's single. Lets it drop, and then that right fielder a little bit slow coming in, not able to make the catch. And we've got back-to-back singles with one out in the top of the third, and that's going to bring up Jackson Bolender, who hit a solo home run in the last inning, trying to get Wasatch back tied up.
Probably don't expect him to get that same first pitch fastball on this at bat, Tyler.
Come on, challenge him. Give it to him again.
But I will tell you, with runners on first and second, it does change the dynamic a little bit. But I think Irving's got confidence in his breaking pitch.
First and second, one out. Pitch is there, and there you go. Off-speed pitch is off the plate to the outside. Count 1-0. Irvin not as sharp this inning. He's fallen behind in both of his at-bats. Jack Bluth with a single, Zach Pinner with a single. Zimmerman had a good barrel, but just right at the first baseman to lead off the inning. That's your lone out. Now a back pick on Bluth. Bluth gets back, but again, another good move. We saw Wasatch nearly get picked off earlier in the game. Another good back pick here from Desert Hills. Still first and second, one out. Jackson Bolender steps into the box. 3 for 4 on the season, hitting .750 now with 2 RBIs. Irvin comes set. No look at back. High fastball. It's going to go off the glove of the catcher, and both Bluth and Pinter are going to advance. And now with the 2-0 count, Jackson Bolender at the plate. Wasatch has 2 guys in scoring position, and really with both of these guys, any hit in the outfield, you're going to get some runs. It's going to bring out the coach of Desert Hills, going to call a timeout, our first Mirror Lake Station timeout. Mirror Lake Station is your one-stop shop for gas, groceries, and goodies. Station in Camas. Stopped in today with new owners David and Kristen Wade.
Well, this game has not gone at all how you would have expected this one to go, Tyler. Thought we'd get some offensive, pitching duel going on here between Irvin and Bolender. And each team just keeps coming right back out, throwing haymakers offensively. It's currently 4-5. Wasatch threatening to put some more runs on the board. A base hit would likely give Wasatch a 1-run lead after this inning.
Yeah, already 7 hits for Wasatch in the ballgame. They had 8 in their previous games on average, already with 7 through the first 2 1/3 innings.
And to me, that's the most encouraging part of this whole tournament, Tyler, is the bats have come out alive in this tournament. Wasatch is averaging just under 7 runs per game in their first 3. Look well on their way to that again in this one. And the confidence that you have in the pitching staff, I still have a lot of confidence here in that. If you can get 5 or 6 runs a game, you're going to win a lot of games here in region play if you're the Wasps.
2-0 pitch is delivered inside. Make the count 3-0. Probably part of that conversation was, hey, we have a base. This guy just hit a bomb. Don't want to give him anything good. 3-0 count now with guys on second and third.
I think I agree.
Wasatch down by 1.
He gets the fastball.
Yeah, I think so too. Bolender, one of the best guys with batters in scoring position last year for the Wasps. The 3-0 pitch is delivered, and it's outside, and Desert Hills will load the bases. Bolender will trot down there, and then we should have a speed up for the pitcher. It's been Tad Sulcer. Should be Tad Sulcer that will be going out to first base as the speed up guy for the pitcher. Again, a rule in high school in order to keep the game going a little bit faster is you can speed up for your pitcher and speed up for your catcher. Wasatch opting to do that here. It's been senior Tad Sulcer who's had the opportunity to run in this tournament, that speed-up role. That's going to bring up Kelson Stocking. Stocking in his first at-bat walked and then eventually ended up scoring. 2 for 6 on the season in his at-bats, but has an on-base percentage above .429 now. A couple of good barrels. Had an RBI single in the first game of the day against Orem. Caught the first and third game.
The Stocking names normally play well against Desert.
Yep.
Older brother Chandler had some big games against Desert Hills in the past, and Kelson has played well so far as well.
Bases juiced, 1 out. Pitch comes in, swung on and missed. It's an off-speed pitch that Kelson swung at and just got fooled a little bit by the off-speed.
Yeah, he had a plan up there, thinking bases loaded, and he's always thinking through baseball. That's what Kelson does. Bases loaded. He's going to come after me with the fastball, and he was looking for it, and Irvin won that chess match by going with the breaking pitch.
I want to remind everyone you're listening to 94.5 The Peak, HeberValleyRadio.com from Desert Hills High School. Wasatch down 5-4 here in the top half of the third inning. Wasatch baseball action. The 0-1 pitch to Stocking, swung on half swing, check swing that's going to go foul. And now Stocking falls behind 0-2. Good job here from Irvin after the walk to Jackson Bolender. He comes back with back-to-back strikes on Stocking. Infield for Desert Hills has the corners playing in on the grass. Middle infield playing double play depth. Outfield playing normal and straight up. No shifts here. Irvin gets the pitch, sets out of the stretch. High leg kick delivers, and a swing and a miss from Kelson Stocking on a high off-speed pitch. There's that hanging slider. The Ryan Chadwick is what we're going to call that throughout the year. As Kelson Stocking, just a little bit late, tried to protect the plate and wasn't able to do it. That ball well out of the zone, though. That would have been ball 1. But a big strikeout there from Irvin as Wasatch unable to generate anything again with bases loaded and less than 2 outs.
Yeah, and you know, little tendencies of these hitters, right? Kelson Stocking is an aggressive hitter, and he will be able to work the count, but with runners in scoring position, he's up there looking to put the ball in play, and sometimes you can get him to chase on balls outside the zone a little bit, and Irving did that right there.
Good fastball on the outside part of the plate is called strike on Carter Bucad, the number 9 hitter. Grounded out to the third baseman on a slash that moved the runner from first to second in his first at-bat. Goes in as an out, but it was kind of a sacrifice play there from Bucad. Now has the opportunity. He's going to call time and step out. 1 strike on Bucad. Wasatch trying to get some runs here with bases loaded. 5 for the score. They've scored 2 in each of the innings. Trying to do so again. A base knock would probably score a Pinter. There's a swung on pitch that's fouled out of play down the right field line. 0-2 now the count.
Quick Dorius Dental scoreboard update. Doctors Dorius and Proctor take pride in making your mouth smile. For more information, visit DoriusDental.com. Wasatch trailing Desert Hills High School 4-5 in the top of the third inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 2 strikes on Carter Bucad.
Bucad sets. Irvin taking a long time again. Bases loaded. Tad on first. Zach Pinter swung on, and this is going to be in shallow center field. Center fielder's going to come up, can of corn, as Wasatch loads the bases with 1 out, but unable to get any runs in once again. As Wasatch ends the third inning with no runs on 2 hits, no errors by Desert Hills, and 3 left on base. Desert Hills is going to bring up Willie, Timo, and Bland in the bottom half of the third.
You are listening to Wasatch High School Baseball with Tyler Barrett and Tyler Moss. We're at Desert Hills High School right now, where Wasatch is trading the Desert Hills Thunder. 5-4 in the bottom of the third inning. Third inning action brought to you by Wasatch Napa Auto Parts. Your local Napa Auto Parts stocks tools, equipment, and many other items, including stuff for heavy-duty trucks, marine equipment, and farming equipment. Stop on in today. Wasatch Napa Auto Parts, friendly customer service, and all of the supplies and gear that you need. Really going in this game, and what you thought would be a pitching duel. The Gordon Law Group stat of the game, if you're just joining us, is Jackson Bolender throughout his entire high school career, and he's been pitching for Wasatch since his freshman year. Had only one game in his high school career where he'd given up more than 3 earned runs, and that was his final game of last season against Olympus. In the first inning, Desert Hills put 4 earned runs up on the board against him.
Another off-speed pitch to start off this third inning, and it's swung on missed. The batter is the catcher, Willie, who got hit by a pitch after falling down 2-2 in his first at-bat, ended up scoring in that inning. Swung on and missed on this one. Now a ball that's going to get away from Cray McPhee. 1-1 now the count. Might be. Little Samson situation going on. Another fastball on the inside part of the plate, but it is low as Cray has to go down and turn the glove over, making the count now 2-1. Zach Penner in right, Payton Swapp in center, Crew Erickson in left, playing pretty tight to the left field line. It's going to be a ground ball to Bukad. Bukad does a good job of reading the hop, gets the good hop, throws it over to Zimmerman, and Wasatch has their first out of the inning as great play there from Card Bukad. Besides that drop in the first game against Park City, Bukad has been perfect from that shortstop position in this tournament.
Speed, but already you talked about a good quick release. He's got good range of motion, and Wasatch.
Yeah.
As well, and so the hops just stay true and pure on that turf.
Timo now comes up for Desert Hills. He doubled over Zach Penner's head in right field to start off, or in his first at bat of the ball game. He swings and misses at the first pitch here. Bolender has calmed down a little bit, has retired the last 3 hitters that have come up to face him. Another fastball right at the belt, called strike. 0-2 count now for Bolender. 0-2, and he hits the spot on the outside part of the plate. Man, pull the string, ring him up, sir. 1-2 now the count. Looked like that one was right on the outside part of the plate. Cray McPhee doesn't even move the glove. Bolender right back at it, though. Throws a high pitch at the chest. Mo wanted to take a swing, holds back, and now we're back to 2-2. Bolender moving quickly now, getting his rhythm going. And another ball, 3-2. So after going up 0-2, now have another full count, and this is a win for Desert Hills because it's moving that pitch count up for Jackson.
Third inning, and again, I think 5 innings at least.
This goes right at the Wasatch dugout, and we'll reset with full count. Nobody on, 1 out for Desert Hills in the bottom of the third. 1-run lead on Wasatch. Another changeup, and a great one as it gets Timo swinging. And Wasatch has the first 2 guys retired for the first time this game. They've been able to get the first 2 guys out. Timo swings and misses. That's the third. Physical at the Fit Stop K. Physical at the Fit Stop, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic serving the Heber Valley from head to toe, including vertigo to sports injuries, for over 40 years.
Oh, man, and that made Timo just look absolutely fooled on that, Tyler. His head was pulling out. He thought he had a pitch he was going to hit over the fence, and Bolender just got him completely fooled with that changeup.
Another fastball. Watching this time is called a strike. It's going to bring up Bland, who had a single to the left center field over the shortstop's head last time. Watches the first pitch strike. Bolender starting to get into his rhythm here. Swing and a miss on another changeup on the outside part of the plate. 2 strikes now on Bland.
Missed that a little bit early. Probably see how many pitches and what he's doing. I know Jackson competitive, and he likes to challenge with the fastball. But you got to play the mind games a little bit with baseball here.
And another strikeout, this one looking on the inside part of the plate. Jackson Bolender, 2 physical at the fifth stop K's as Wasatch retires Desert Hills 1-2-3 for the first time this game. No runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Wasatch has Erickson, Wilson, Swapp, the top of the lineup coming up in the top half of the fourth. Fourth inning brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health. It was founded in 1967 to provide quality mental health care for all individuals within Utah and Wasatch counties. Wasatch Behavioral Health is a comprehensive community behavioral health center. We offer a wide array of programs and services for children, teens, and adults. Start of the fourth inning will bring up the top of the order for the Wasps. Crew Erickson, 1 for 2 on the day, singled in his first at bat, popped up to the first baseman. He's hitting .500 on the year with 3 RBIs. Also had a run scored in that first inning. 5-4 the score here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, Irving, 18 batters faced for Desert Hills to this point, giving up 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 2 base on balls. ERA sitting at 9.3 right now in this game.
Swung on.
The better ERA, Bolender up around 11 with his ERA right now.
First pitch is swung on and fouled off of the shin guard. Maybe got his foot. Takes a second to walk it off, and now he's back in the box. Crew Erickson's been the hottest hitter for the Wasps through the last 2 games, he's gone 4 for 6 in his last 6 at bats, hitting .500 on the year. The 0-1 swung on, and it's fouled off towards the dugout again. A little bit of an off speed is what's got Crew off balance a little bit on his timing. He was locked in before. A little bit off now in the last couple of swings.
Yeah, and Irving has marked it, hasn't he? I mean, you can kind of tell that's where he's going back to that off-speed on the outer half of the plate. And Crew's mechanics are breaking down a little bit on that off-speed pitch. Just needs to try to not do too much, try to drive it the other way. Trust his hands, trust his mechanics.
0-2. Swung on, and it's going to be popped up in the middle of the outfield. Center fielder's going to come up very shallow, calls off the second baseman. And the first batter is retired for the Wasps. Both pitchers kind of settling down here now after giving up 9 combined runs between the two in the first 2 innings. Both pitchers now settling down. Jackson Bolender retires the last 5, and Irvin has been able to retire the last 3 in a row. Going to bring up Chet Wilson, who doubled to left center field last at bat and had a sacrifice bunt. He's 1 for 1 with 4 RBIs on the season. He's going to swing at the first pitch fastball. He fouls it straight back. 0-1 now the count. 5 RBIs now on the season. I forgot he had an RBI on that double that he had back in the second inning. So 5 RBIs, leads the team. Batting second in today's game. The 0-1 from Irvin. Off speed, swung on and missed by Chet. He's done a good job, Irvin, of settling in. Both pitchers have. They both challenged, I think, early with the fastball, and both teams were able to tee off and barrel up the fastball. Now both pitchers mixing it up a little bit more and have the teams off balance. 5-4, top of the fourth. 1 out for the Wasps, nobody on base. Chet Wilson down 0-2. Fastball on the inside part of the plate. He hits the spot, strikes out looking, and Chet will trot back to the dugout. That's going to be the 4th K of the game for Irvin.
Usually earlier on in the season, Tyler, the advantage does fall to the pitchers. Or ability to get some off-season work in. It just hasn't been the case in this tournament so far in this game, at least. It seems like the bats have been alive down here.
Payton Swapp's going to come in. He's got back-to-back Ks and 2 at-bats this season. Instead, he gets a hanging curveball. Goodbye, Senor Wilson. That ball's not coming back. Off of the scoreboard. A solo shot for Payton Swapp. We've been waiting for it. He hit 5 last year. Another one to get his season going here in Game 4. That ball was a no-doubter, and he sent the Wilson baseball over the left center field wall, and we've got a tie ball game 5-5.
Yeah, tie, no doubter, and he didn't even get all of it, not even close to all of that baseball. That is a pop-up for Payton Swapp that got out of here. Just so nice to have such a weapon there with Payton.
It's going to bring up Cole Zimmerman, who's able to break out of his slump in his first at-bat with an RBI double for himself into the right center field fence. He's got 2 RBIs now on the season as Wasatch ties the score 5-5. He was ready for that hanging curveball, and he put that out of here, no doubt. Fastball this time, and Cole Zimmerman with a base knock up the middle. Wasatch scoring 3 out of their 5 runs with 2 outs. They've done a good job with 2-out hitting, and Cole Zimmerman continues to find his stroke. He's now 2 for 3 in the ballgame, but has barreled up the baseball in all 3 at-bats.
Tyler, that's a good piece of hitting from Cole, because Irving, what did he try to do to Swapp? Well, he tried to go breaking pitch, which has been effective towards the top of the lineup. Swapp puts it over the scoreboard, so he tried to come back with a fastball on Cole, which Cole had hit a double, and maybe thinking he was going to sneak one by there, and just Zimmerman was ready to put that one right back where it came from.
Jack Bluth gets a fastball high and inside for ball 1. 2 singles for Jack Bluth in the game, 2 for 2 with an RBI single in the in the first inning. The first one was over the second baseman's head. The last one was to left field, opposite way. Jack Bluth, a lefty. Cole, a decent lead. He's going to square, maybe drag bunt with 2 outs. Brings the third baseman in, but it's going to be ball 2.
Could have been a fake and take scenario as well. Tyler tried to move the infield a little bit. Sometimes coaches will do that strategy-wise, and now you do have the third baseman coming in.
Quick throw to try to pick off Cole at first base. Cole ready for it, gets back safe.
You just mentioned that strategy, right, Tyler? With a lefty up, the first baseman holding on the runner, you've created about 70 feet of space over on the right side between first and second base. And if you can bring in the third base on the left side, just with a fake bunt there, you open round balls to get through.
Wouldn't mind seeing Jack with a fastball here. He's small, but he's got enough pop that he could lift it up and over that right field short porch here at Desert Hills. Already 2 bombs in today's game. Throw over to Cole. Cole with a good lead. Isn't able to get picked off, or wasn't able to get the pickoff, was Irvin. He thought he had him. The length of Cole's able to get back, and we're going to reset with a 2-0 count.
Irvin's got a great pickoff move. We've seen it already half a dozen times, Tyler, but he is not good at putting the ball where it needs to be on the pickoffs. He'd have about 4 pickoffs if he could just put the ball above the bag. But again, that one was a little bit off and hard for the first baseman to put the tag on.
There was it. That was it. A little bit off the plate. Jack's going to swing and foul this one off over into the batting cages, just off the left field fence. Cole's getting a good lead over there at first base. 1-2 now the count with 2 outs. 5-5 the score here in the top of the 4th. That last run brought to you by Wasatch Physical Therapy, sports medicine, your rehabilitation specialist dedicated to your total recovery from sports injuries and auto injuries. Let Dan Ivey and his team get you back to 100%. Jack will reset. 2-1 the count. Irvin sets, takes a peek at Cole. He'll deliver. Swung on and again fouled out of play to the left field side. Tyler, one of your keys to the game from Country Garden Nurseries was extra base hits, and Wasatch has come through. 2 home runs, 2 doubles in the game for Wasatch. 4 extra base hits might match their total for the season coming into today's game.
Yeah, only had 1 in the last game, Tyler, and so certainly have outdone themselves in that game, and we're only halfway through at this point.
2-2, 2 outs. The pitch swung on and missed. Jack Bluth chases one on the outside part of the plate, and Wasatch ties the game up 5-5 after the solo shot from Payton Swapp. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. Coming up for Desert Hills will be Clough, Musgraves, and then the top of the order, Cole, on the bottom half of the 4th.
out there in the outfield for Eric. But initially, driving balls in his direction. Pull their helmet off before they throw it down, but blocking, moving mask off, and ready to throw. He's got a lot of energy back there, and he's bouncing up well, popping up, getting ready. That's where you don't want that off-speed pitch. You don't want that hand zone, that up on the porch. You can end up finding the rocks beyond the left field wall. That was an interesting sequence. I was curious. On the outer. So, I mean, Gubler, this matchup that you've been seeing for 3 straight years, and each of them have gotten kind of the better hand of each other. Gubler run, Bolender struck him out 3 times last year in their matchup.
Welcome back to the top of the 5th inning. Guild Mortgage, Tom Stone and his team will help you find the perfect mortgage that fits your situation. It will be painless and easy. As we go into the 5th inning, we're deadlocked. 5-5 the score between Wasatch High School and Desert Hills. New pitcher on the mound for Desert Hills after Irvin goes 4 innings, gives up 5 runs in those 4 innings. Let's see, number 6. So number 6 is Jacob Hofer. Trying to see if they moved Irvin somewhere else. Ty Irvin, number 1. One of the better hitters actually hitting number 1 or number 3.
Yeah, he's their 3 hitter, so you'd have to imagine he's in there somewhere, or he will reinsert into the game as a hitter.
Next inning.
Yeah, Hofer doesn't look like an extended type pitcher here. I mean, he's coming in. If we're being frank, that ball is lucky to be hitting 70 miles per hour.
I think he's out in center field. I think they moved Irvin out to center field, if I'm looking at that right. Musgraves was number 8. We'll have to take a look at that. Wasatch right now 5, Desert Hills 5. Jackson Bolender has settled down after giving up 5 in the first 2 innings. Has settled down and has thrown 2 scoreless innings and has only allowed 1 base runner in the last 2 innings of play for the Wasps. Up now for the Wasps will be Zach Pinter. Zach Pinter comes into this game going 0 for 1. Excuse me, 0 for 2. No, sorry, 1 for 2. He had the single to right field in his last at-bat, struck out in his first. He's hitting .500 on the year, 3 of 6 in his 6 at-bats that he's had on the season. Good speed, takes a peek over the third baseman, definitely capable of laying down the bunt. First look from the pitcher, I've already forgot his name, Hofer. Got to write that down.
It's been a long weekend for you, Tyler.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of baseball here on our first.
It's been a blast, and I'm finally warm. I think I can actually shed a layer in this game instead of adding a layer on.
One of your 3 coats you can take off.
I've only got 1 hoodie on, but may have a couple of long sleeve shirts on underneath. Swung on and missed. 1-1 now the count to Pinter. Big, tall, lanky pitcher comes straight over the top, and he gets a fastball on the inside part of the plate called strike. Is Hofer. 1-2 now. Pinter, the right fielder, started the first game against Park City and started this game as well in right field. One of the ones battling for those outfield spots. Pitch, 1-2, swung on, lifted to left field. It's going to be shallow left field. Left fielder drifting over in foul territory, makes a sliding grab. Great play out there by the left fielder. Left fielder, it's Clough. Makes a great sliding grab, and Wasatch gets retired on their opening batter.
Yeah, that was a great play, Tyler. I thought he was running out of room there, but just slowed his body down by going with a little feet first slide into the fence and hauled that ball in.
It's going to bring up Jackson Bolender. Bolender walked his last time up, hit a solo home run in his first at bat in the top half of the second. Pitcher in today's game gets a fastball, decides to take it. Bolender on the season now 3 for 4 with an RBI. He's been on base 5 out of his 6 at-bats, or 5 out of his 6 plate appearances. 0-1 pitch, make it 0-2 as he watches another strike. So now 2 strikes now on Bolender. It's not too often the Wasatch chases the Desert Hills starter after 4 innings, but they've done a great job of hitting the ball today. 9 hits for the Wasatch baseball team today.
Desert Hills has another game tonight as well. They'll finish with Salem Hills, so they do have a little more pitching available than Wasatch does right now.
0-2 as that ball is off the edge of the plate and makes the count 1-2. Catcher's just been gradually creeping outside. A little bit too far outside on that last one. Now goes off speed, high and inside, and the count moves to 2-2. Straight up infield and outfield for Desert Hills. Pitching change for Desert Hills in that last inning. Brings up Hoffman and freezes Bolender on an off-speed pitch on the inside part of the plate. First strikeout of the game for Hofer as Bolender watches 6 pitches on that one.
That was a good loopy curveball. Tyler, that wasn't a hard biting curveball. It was one that just kind of slowly broke down. It's a gravity type curve, but he got a lot of break on it. Started at his body, came all the way back across almost the middle of the plate by the time it got there.
It's going to bring up Kelton Stocking. Stocking struck out in his last at bat. He's going to swing at the first one. It's a ball into the 5-6 hole. Third baseman comes across, throws it across the diamond, and Wasatch gets retired for the first time. 1-2-3 in the ball game, as both pitchers and defenses have settled down. In the last couple of innings has been no runs. Wasatch no runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. as we'll go into the bottom half of the fifth, still tied at 5-5. Bottom half of the fifth inning brought to you by Guild Mortgage. Stop on into Guild Mortgage, and Tom Stone and his team will help you find the perfect mortgage that fits your situation. Painless and easy. As a proud customer of Guild Mortgage, is very true. Very easy, very painless, non-stressful. As he'll go in and just educate you if you want to just be educated on your options. A lot of respect for Tom. Going into the bottom half of the fifth, Jackson Bolender's been able to calm down. 2 scoreless innings in the third and the fourth after giving up 5 runs in the first and second innings combined. Has retired 9 out of the last 10 batters that he's faced. He's got a good one up right now in Irvin, starting pitcher, now playing center field for the Desert Hills Thunder. Had a double in the first at bat and then a fielder's choice ground out in the second at bat to the second baseman. He's going to foul off the second pitch, making the count 1-1. With nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. Off-speed pitch is in there for a strike, makes the count 1-2. See the mental toughness of Bolender. Just knows his stuff, trusts his stuff. Struggles early on in this game, but he's settled down and he looks good now. Fastball on the inside part of the plate is going to be fouled out of play down the left field line. Jackson missed that spot a little bit. McPhee set up on the outside part of the plate. That pitch drifted inside. I think that's what allowed Irvin to get a piece of it, and we're going to reset again at 1-2. Breeze starting to pick up again, but it almost feels like it's coming in from the left field now. 1-2 pitch in there off the edge of the plate, 2-2. Looking at the time, kind of short on time. We'll see how many more innings Wasatch can get in here. Another low pitch is going to bring up a full count to Irvin. Bolender getting up there in his pitch count as well, something to keep an eye on, see who Wasatch goes with after Bolender. Full count pitch, it's change up, and it is caught by McPhee. And another strikeout for Bolender. Again, your strikeouts brought to you by Physical at the Pit Stop, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic, serving you from head to toe, including vertigo and sports injuries. That swing and a miss. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts for Bolender through 5 1/3 innings. It's going to bring up the number 4 hitter, Terry, the third baseman, who's got 2 of those 6 Ks. He's had a hard time getting his timing down against Bolender. He's going to swing at the first pitch. He's going to foul it down the third base side. 2 strikeouts, 1 looking for Terry in the ball game today.
All right, Ty, I was a mess over here on Game Changer. So Bolender got the strikeout.
Got the strikeout.
But how many pitches?
It was a full count strikeout.
Okay, so full count, no foul balls. He went 6 pitches deep on that.
Yep.
Excuse me while I was
no worries.
a mess over here trying to get the substitutions taken care of.
Change up, swung on and missed by Terry. So another 0-2 count for Terry. Right now, if he gets another strikeout, he's going to go put his head in the hole. And this time he gets a fastball up in the zone. This one has a chance to left field. Crew going back to the wall, and it's gone. So the 2 strikeouts, forget about it. He sends the baseball over the left field fence, and Desert Hills retakes the lead 6-5. And Bolender just missed on that one. An 0-2 pitch, fastball that was up in the zone. And Terry gets a chance at it, and he sends it over the left field wall.
Literally the shortest part of the field, Tyler. That thing just squeaked through on the foul ball line. It's 325 down the line, and that one went about 327. Barely got over. Erickson was looking and trying to find the fence, and if he could have got to the spot in time, definitely could have had what you
maybe
call
a chance.
Robbery
Yeah.
of a home run if he could have settled under it, but couldn't get there quite in time as that ball was drifting a little bit farther left.
It's going to bring up the catcher, Willie. Willie had a double, or excuse me, hit by pitch in his first at bat and then grounded out to the shortstop in his second at bat. Fastball just outside to start off this at bat. Desert Hills retakes the lead 6-5. Wasatch has scored 2 in the first 2 innings, scored 2 in the first, scored 2 in the second. Desert Hills 4 in the first, 1 in the second, scoreless in the third and the fourth, and then that solo shot there. 2-0 now the count to Willie. Gets that one on the outside corner, so now 1-2 the count to Willie. Wasatch playing straight up, almost a little bit shaded to the left field side here on the left-handed Willie. Off-speed pitch, hits that outside corner again, and we're now 2-2. Bolender starting to get back up into the zone here, maybe a little bit of fatigue setting in.
Yeah, he's approaching 90 pitches at this point, Tyler. This is probably his final inning of the game.
Wind starting to pick up, and he hits the outside spot. Cray thought he had a strikeout. Instead, it's going to be ball 3, and we've got a full count here with 1 out. McPhee bouncing back. He really thought he had a strikeout on that pitch there. Full count here now to Willie. Fastball bounces before the plate. And a walk as Willie will trot down to first base. It's going to bring up Timo. Had a double to right field in his first at bat. That was a two RBI double. Did strike out in his last at bat. Pitching coach comes out for Wasatch. This timeout brought to you by Mirror Lake Station, voted best donuts in Utah. Mirror Lake Station is your one-stop shop for gas, groceries, and goodies. New owners David and Kristen Wade invite you to swing by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station.
Final game of a 4-game tournament here for Wasatch against Park City High School at 11:30. Lost a tight one, 6-5 to the Park City Miners. And in the second game of the night, the Wasps got an 8-3 victory over Carbon, moving their record to 1-1 on the year. And then earlier today, the Wasps had another tight competitive game against Orem that went back and forth, and the Wasps dropped that one in the 7th inning. Ended up losing in the bottom of the 7th, 7-6 on a walk-off from Orem. And then another tight one here, Tyler, as Wasatch finds themselves down 6-5 in the bottom of the 5th inning in this one. Good competitive baseball all the way around the board so far.
Runner on first. Wasatch down 1 with 1 out here in the bottom half of the 5th. It's going to be Timo. Mosier comes up 1 for 2 today with a double and a strikeout. Bolender misses on the first pitch, bringing the count to 1-0, make it 2-0 as he bounces it in front of the bag again, in front of the plate, making the count 2-0. Interested to see where Wasatch decides to go after Bolender. You still have Crew Erickson with a live arm out in left field that hasn't thrown in this tournament this weekend. Bolender sets down 2-0, is going to pick over. He's got him lean in, and he got him. Picks off the runner at first base. That was Willie, and he got Willie leaning just a little bit, and Bolender throws over, and that's a big timeout to preserve some pitches, and that's the second out of the inning. 2-0 now the count as we go back to the pitcher, the right fielder, Mosier. 2-0 pitch, swung on, fouled off down the right field line. 2-1 now the count. Again, bottom half of the 5th. Take a look at our Dorius Dental scoreboard. Wasatch down by 1. Another bounce in front.
You got a whole season ahead, and he's an important arm for you. With Wasatch, he's approaching 100 pitches.
3-2, and that's another walk. As that's back-to-back walks now for Bolender. Does have 2 outs as he's able to pick off Willie. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Bland.
Your options you're bringing up with the pitching. So here's some routes Wasatch could go with this. Crew Erickson is probably your best arm available as far as consistency, and you know what you're going to get. But you do want to kind of think matchups as well. So some other options, Cole Zimmerman, a lefty who throws a little bit softer, not too soft, but he's a little bit softer thrower there. You try to come from the left side where Desert Hills does have a lot of lefties in their lineup. And so that might be an option they could go with as well.
Does get a called strike, and now a swing and a miss on the second pitch, so 0-2. After walking back-to-back guys, he comes back with 2 strikes on the designated hitter Bland. Single in this first at-bat, struck out looking in his second. Probably going to see some running action here on an 0-2 count. Wouldn't mess around, though. Just go after him. McPhee set up on the outside part of the plate. A little bit of a pitch-out situation there. Makes the count 1-2.
Potential arms. Chet Wilson, capable of throwing Carter Bucad. also has done some time pitching as well. Tad Solser.
Did you mention Stocking?
Stocking, no, but in talking to him in the game before, Tyler, he mentioned that his arm is not feeling the greatest, and you could see that a little bit in the way he threw the ball down from the catching position the game before. I'd be surprised if they went to Kelson, knowing that a little bit here and knowing the other options they have available to him.
Another ball makes the count 2-2. Bolender sets in the stretch, delivers the 2-2, low in the zone, brings up full count. Runner will be going, full count, 2 outs, 6-5 here in the bottom half of the 5th. Clock starting to become a factor here. Full count, pitch, and it's another walk. 3 straight walks here for Bolender. Baseball at 6-5 in the bottom half of the 5th. Wasatch down by 1. Cole Zimmerman on the mound now for the Wasps. Jackson Bolender finishes 5 2/3 innings, giving up 6 runs. Both runners that are on base right now on first and second will be his runs. Cole Zimmerman comes in, lands the first pitch curveball, and now it comes back with a fastball on the outside part of the plate, and he goes up 0-2 on the left fielder Clough, who has a pop-up to the second baseman and a fly out to left field in his 2 at-bats today. 0-2 count now here for the lefty Cole Zimmerman, who delivers a fastball up in the zone, and that's going to be ball 1. Zimmerman looks like he's added a couple miles per hour to his fastball from last year. Had trouble with some command last year.
Ty, if he can get a ball that tails in on the inside part of the plate, he can get this hitter out.
Curveball, nope, it goes back with the fastball on the outside. 2-2 now the count.
That's not where you want to be with this particular hitter. He's choking up on the bat, and he's about 2 inches off the plate. In fact, he's probably standing outside of the box, but the box has been cleared out. So he's trying to cover the inside or the outer half of the plate here. Lefty tail action inside would jam him.
2-2, make it 3-2 as he misses high on 3 straight pitches. Wasatch has walked the last 3 guys, but was able to pick off one of those. The lone run in the inning was a home run to Terry, and it was an unfortunate one. An 0-2 count that went over the left field wall. Now full count, 2 outs, runners go. And they hits them, and I'm with you, Ty. I mean, man, that is right on the corner. And that's going to put the 3rd guy on. So now full bases are loaded.
Yeah, that one I'm begging for a strike there.
Yeah.
He's hanging that upper body over the plate. Hard to see from the side of the dugout where the Wasatch coaches are.
Well, you use your catcher at that point, right? You ask the catcher, hey, do I need to talk to the umpire about him being on the plate? And Cray didn't look like he was too concerned about it. So now it's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, who's actually going to be a sub. This is going to be the new pitcher that came in, Hofer, who was inserted into the game for Musgraves. Irvin went out to center field. Musgraves was 1 for 2 with a single, 2 for 2. Hofer's first at bat as Cole comes back with the off speed and lands it for a strike. Bases loaded. Wasatch trying to hold on, stay only down by 1 here in the bottom half of the 5th. Fastball up in the zone, makes the count 1-1. It's probably the 6th inning technically. I don't think Wasatch is going to get 2 more innings in. Hopefully they can get 1 more and get a crack at coming back at this one. 1-1 pitch is a curveball inside, ball 2.
They're going to need to get out of this inning quickly, Tyler, if they want to have another crack at it. Game started just a little bit after 1:30, and we are now at 3:32 with the 2-hour time limit.
Fastball swung on and missed by Hafer, and now we got a 1-2 count with 2 outs. 2-2 count with 2 outs. Excuse me, Hofer. Bottom half of the 5th, 6-5. 2-2 pitch with 2 outs. Curveball. This one's crushed down the left field line, but it's going to tail foul, and we're going to reset at 2-2. Wait for the runners to get back into their spots. Wasatch has walked 4 straight batters. Got picked off one of the batters. Now a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Wasatch wanted it, but they're not going to get it. And full count once again. Runners will be in motion. Full count, 2 outs. Cole wanted that one.
That was a pretty good spot, but Wasatch is in the position where they're begging a little bit here, right? Tight spot for him.
Full count pitch. He gets him to swing at it up in the zone. Jack Bluth drifting over from the second base spot, makes the catch, and Wasatch gets out of the inning. And we are going to get the 6th inning in. Wasatch is going to have one last chance due to the time limit to come back on this one. The score 6-5 as Desert Hills is able to score 1 run on 1 hit, no errors for the Wasps. 3 left on base. Bucad, Erickson, and Wilson up for the Wasps. Sixth inning action brought to you by Wasatch Bar Grill and Deli, a family-owned and operated business that has been serving the great food and customer service in the Heber Valley and Midway for the last 7 years. Wasatch Bar Grill and Deli. This is the last game of the Wasatch Desert Hills Invitational. Wasatch playing host to the host team, Desert Hills High School, in their last game. 1-2 so far. They lost 6-5 to Park City in the opening game, beat Carbon 8-3, and then lost in a walk-off 7-6 to Orem in Game 3. Now find themselves down by 1 once again, 6-5 here in the top of the 6th. And looking at the clock, it looks like this is probably going to be it for the Wasps. If they want to come back, it's going to be this one. I don't think we're going to get the full 7-inning game in due to the time limit.
Yeah, Tyler, and this is what you'd like, though. You're going to be back to the top of the lineup, Carter Bucad, the 9th spot, and then you got 1-2 coming up after that. And you hope to get a chance to get to Payton Swapp, who's already got a home run in this game at the 3rd position for Wasatch. And that's what you want, right? If you want to have a chance at the end of the game, you'd like to get up to your top of the lineup hitters. Wasatch is in a position to make a little bit of a run. They're into the Desert Hills bullpen as well. Hofer has done okay in the last inning, but he's not overpowering by any stretch.
Hofer delivers the opening pitch. Carter takes a hack at it, fouls it off to the right side. 0-1. Bucad in his at-bats grounded out to the third baseman on a slash and run, and then popped up to the center fielder in his last at-bat. It's been perfect from the shortstop position, though, today. Hofer taking a little bit of time. Now he'll deliver the 0-1. Up in the zone, Bucad's going to take a hack at it. It's going to be shallow right field in foul territory. Right fielder makes the grab, and Bucad is retired to start off this 6th inning.
Down to 2 outs likely here, Tyler, although if it goes quick, maybe you
have a
one
chance.
more here, Tyler, but
It's the top half, and then you have the full.
The bottom, you'd have to get through the bottom half very quickly as well.
Crew Erickson comes up to the plate. He's popped up, though, in his last 2 at-bats, popped up to the first baseman and the center fielder. Led off the game with a single. Had 3 singles against Orem earlier in the day. He did score after the single in the first inning as well. Hofer's going to bounce the first pitch, making it ball 1. Erickson started in left field in each of the games today and yesterday. The 1-0 pitch from Hofer, high in the zone, make the count 2-0. Some philosophies of different coaches may be to go ahead and take in this last inning until you get a strike. Bucad went after that first pitch, but now a 2-0 count here to Erickson. Probably in zone 1. The 2-0 pitch delivered. He's going to lay down a drag bunt down the third base side, but it's going to go foul. Would have been an easy single for Erickson. He had a single that way yesterday against Carbon. Not able to get it in play, and it's going to be 2-1 as he trots back to the box.
Good to see him working on that tool, though, Tyler. He's got the speed to make that a weapon that you could really increase your batting average by about a whole 100 points. Maybe jump up from a 350 to 450 just by being able to lay down drag bunts in the right situations.
2-1 the count here to Erickson. Hofer taking his time getting the pitch. Now he'll go into the windup. 2-1, swung on, fouled off behind us. And that'll bring the count to 2-2. Wasatch already with 1 out in the inning. Again, it's the top of the 6th, but probably going to do it due to time limit after this set of at-bats for the Wasps if they are unable to tie this game up. Crew waits as Hofer takes his time once again getting the pitch. Counts 2-2. Catcher's going to set up on the outside part of the plate. 2-2 sets. He hits the spot, and they give it to him. Wasatch didn't get that call in the last inning from our angle, but the umpire pulls the string here, and Crew Erickson goes down looking, and that's going to be 2 outs, and Wasatch likely down to their last out.
You're right, Wasatch didn't get that call, but I do think both of those pitches should have been strikes.
I agree.
I thought that was a great pitch there from Hofer on the corner with Erickson.
It's going to bring up Chet Wilson. Chet Wilson on the day had a sacrifice bunt, a double down the left field line, struck out looking in his last at-bat, has 5 RBIs on the season. He definitely has enough power to tie this thing up. Fastball low and away for B ball 1. These next 3 guys all have power to tie this thing up. Chet, Payton, and Cole Zimmerman. Chet hit a home run a couple of weeks ago in a tournament down here in St. George. The 1-0. Inside, ball 2.
Yeah, at this point you need to extend the game any way you can. You can see Chet was kind of trying to lean in there, that ball flirting on the inside part of the plate, trying to find a way to get hit by a pitch and get that tying run on base.
The 2-0 pitch now to Chet. Swung on, and it's going to be a dribbler down the first base side. Goes foul, and Wasatch will have another chance. 2-1. Chet gets jammed a little bit on that fastball on the inside part of the plate.
Hey, Wasatch, Desert Hills owes them a ball like that. If you remember a couple of years ago, Wasatch had Desert Hills beat with 2 outs in the last inning. A little dribbler to first like that was bobbled, and in error, let the runner get on, and then 2 batters later, Desert Hills Goobler hit a walk-off home run on Bolender. Maybe Desert Hills can return the favor on something like that, Ty.
Hofer taking his time once again. Chet's going to take a timeout and then reset on the left side of the box. 2-1 the count. Chet sets. 2-1's delivered. It's low and outside. 3-1 now. Wasatch just looking to extend the game here. Good hitter's pitch here for Chet. Takes a look at the defense. Gets into the box. Hofer gets the pitch. 2-1. 3-1. Pitch is delivered. It's swung on and fouled left side. That was the chance that Chet had. Misses it, and it's going to go out of play.
Oh, you're right.
It's going to bring up a full count.
Right down Broadway there, Tyler. It looked like fastball, mid-70s, come and get it. And he missed it.
Full count now, 2 outs, down by 1 here in the top of the 6th. Pitch comes in, swung on. That's going to be roped right at the head of Hofer. Hofer ducks, but it's going to be a single for Wilson. Wilson's second hit of the day, and that extends the inning and brings up Payton Swapp, who had a home run in his last at bat.
Yeah, you're right. That ball was absolutely tattooed. That might have been the best hit ball of the game. I know it's only a single, and we've had 3 home runs and balls off the wall, and so that's kind of bold to say 4 home runs, excuse me. But Tyler, that ball was absolutely tattooed, and Hofer had to be fearing for his life for a minute as that thing came right back at his head.
Decent lead for Chet. Hofer takes 3 looks, now delivers the pitch, low and outside for ball 1 to Payton Swapp. Again, Swapp on this day, 1 of 3 with a home run and 2 Ks on the season, has 2 RBIs. Came into the game 2 for 7, now sits at 3 for 10, hitting .300 on the year. The 1-0 outside again brings up 2-0. Chet, the tying run at first base. Swapp, the leading run at the plate. Likely the last at bats here for Wasatch due to time limit. Hofer sets, 2-0. The pitch. Low and outside 3-0. You got to think that the green light's coming here. 3-0. Chance to tie this thing up on a gap shot.
Yeah, not a bad time to green light, but also Tyler Watt puts the tying run in scoring position.
With Cole Zimmerman come up, who's been hot today. 3-0 pitch. Hofer delivers the 3-0. Strike on the out. No, they're going to give him the base. That looked very similar to the strikeout pitch.
They called crew out on.
Called crew out on. So here we go. It's first and second. The tying run now at second base. That's going to bring a visit out as we take a look at the Dorius Dental scoreboard. Dorius and Proctor offer no surprises of dental treatment. Let Dorius Dental make your mouth smile. Learn more at DoriusDental.com. Top of the 6, 6-5. Desert Hills up by 1. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Chet, the runner at second. Payton, the runner at first. And it brings up Cole Zimmerman, who on the day is 2 for 3 with an RBI double in the first inning, a single in his last at bat, and had grounded out to the first baseman in his second at bat.
Well, Ty, this mound visit, we'll kind of see what they come up with, but pretty much you would imagine, hey, let's not mess around anymore. Go after this one. Got a 1-run lead. Let's pitch like we've got a 1-run lead here and not give free passes on base on balls.
Yeah, 4 straight pitches to Payton Swapp on that one. Chet, not a great lead at second base. We'll see if he gets a good secondary here. Hofer takes 2 looks, now delivers. And it's going to be bounced off the catcher's face mask. He can't see it. Chet's got a chance. Take it. Chet's going to try to tie this thing up. He trips as he goes down the line, but it's in time. And just like that, the Wasps tie this game up as the ball gets by the catcher, and Chet advances 2 bases on the ball that the Desert Hills Thunder could not find. And just like that, the leading run's on third base as Payton goes from first to third.
Oh, man, what a break. How about that? Ball goes off the face mask. The catcher is completely confused, and it goes all the way over by the Desert Hills dugout. Catcher didn't look to see where the pitcher is trying to point him in the direction. And just like that, Wasatch breathes a little more life into this one.
Cole Zimmerman had a 2-out RBI double in the first inning. We'll see if he can do it again.
Chet nearly got
sniped.
Sniped, yeah, is the term coming around second base.
It's a floater over the shortstop's head, but it's enough, and a leading run comes in as Cole Zimmerman gives Wasatch the lead with the RBI single. 3 for 4 in the game. Came into the game hitless, but he's now 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Great job for Cole Zimmerman, and Wasatch takes the lead 7-6 in the top half of the 6th inning.
Yeah, to this point, Cole Zimmerman is definitely your Bank of Utah offensive player of the game, Tyler. 3 for 4 in this one. Had an extra base knock as well, some RBIs to go with it. He's been good for Wasatch and gives them the big 7-6 lead.
Hofer's going to deliver to Bluth. Bluth on skate, scoots out of the way, and that's going to be 1 ball. On deck is Zach Pinter for the Wasps. Bluth in the game's been good as well, 2 for 2. Struck out in his last at bat. 2 for 3 with the strikeout. Up in the zone again, make the count, 0-2. Hofer looking a little bit fatigued, up in the zone quite a bit with his pitches. Cole Zimmerman, another one who's been in the weight room, and that's probably a hit because of the weight room. That's kind of a little fister over the shortstop's head, and the strength is what gets that over the shortstop's head. 2-0 pitch in, swung on by Jack Bluth. Is this going to get out of play? The third baseman going over to the fence and makes the catch. I think this is going to do it. We'll see if Wasatch can hold on to that 1-run lead. Wasatch scores 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, leaves 1 on base. Desert Hills has the top of the order coming up in the bottom half of the 6th.
Bottom of the 6th inning at Desert Hills High School, what's likely the final at bat of the ball game, as we are in a tournament that has been using time limits throughout the entire tournament. Wasatch has passed the 2-hour limit here. Desert Hills, being the home team, will get one final at bat, down by 1, 7-6. Cole Zimmerman going to try to close this one out and get the win and the winning RBI hit in the top of the 6th inning. Wasatch with a 7-6 lead, but he's got to face the firepower of Desert Hills. 1, 2, 3. Coming up for Desert Hills, they'll start with their leadoff batter, Cole, second baseman, 1 for 3 on the day here, Tyler. This 6th and final inning brought to you by Wasatch Back Grill and Deli. Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is family-owned and operated. It has been serving good food and good customer service in Heber City and Midway for the past 7 years. That's Wasatch Back Grill and Deli.
Cole Zimmerman, a lefty, long lefty. Kind of an awkward motion that keeps the teams off balance, and he also has a long, loopy curveball.
Yeah,
that's just tough to keep your timing down on a little bit.
And that curveball has taken a significant jump over the last year, Tyler. It bites a little harder now, and he can get that thing to go kind of a 12-6 motion. But you're asking a lot of him in his first varsity pitching here to roll through the top of the Desert Hills lineup and some D1 level players.
I think the umpire just went to both teams, said this is going to be it. And it's going to bring up the leadoff guy, Cole. Chet's going to come in on the grass at third base for the Wasps. Cole Zimmerman came in, finished out the inning in the last inning, and now he'll start this inning. Starts with a fastball high in the zone, ball 1. Cole, as you mentioned, Ty, 1 of 3, had a double to the left center field wall that scored a run, grounded out to the shortstop, and had a backwards K in his last at-bat. The 1-0 in there for a strike, 1-1.
And there's more that goes on than what you're seeing here, Tyler. Cole Zimmerman, one of the few lefties that Wasatch has available, trying to see whether he or Tragan Shaw would be the first lefty that you want to go to out of the bullpen.
And that curveball is going to float, and Payton Swapp drops it in center field. He had a great run on it. It was a well-hit ball and had it in his glove, and it falls down to the grass. And that's going to let the leadoff guy on. It was a well-smoked ball. Payton had a great jump on it and just didn't look it into the glove.
Yeah, you're right on, Tyler. Good read, good jump, and just didn't finish, unfortunately, there from one of your best players there in center field.
First error of the ball game for the Wasps. They've played clean defensively, and now that's going to bring up Gubler. And Gubler, as you said, Tyler, he has some history with some walk-offs against the Wasps. Hit a walk-off home run a couple of years ago. This one's they're not gonna give him a chance, as Cole's gonna throw it off of his right foot, and just like that, tying runs on second, and the winning run is on first base.
It feels eerily similar, Tyler, as far as just how that unfolded. Wasatch, the only difference is Wasatch had 2 outs, and then you had the error at first base a couple years ago, and the next hitter got hit by pitch. And then 1 pitch later, Gubler put it over the left field fence, and it was a 5-3 win for Desert Hills in that one on a walk-off that was aided by an error.
Interesting decision here for Coach Cave. Guys on first and second, nobody out. You got your number 3 hitter up, who is a lefty.
He's got speed, Tyler.
And
I
some
think
speed.
Drag bunt here.
I think you're going to see a bunt here for the Wasps. Nope, they're going to let him swing, and it's going to be a call. Ooh. Man, where's that pitch? I think they said that it was low. And if you're not going to get that one, no wonder we've been having runs and hits in this ball game.
That's what you work all winter for.
Yeah,
right there, Tyler.
that's a good pitch. Ball 1. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. Wasatch trying to hold on to the 1-run lead. Cole sets. High leg kick. Hits the same spot, but gets that one for a strike. 1-1 now the count to the number 3 hitter, Urban.
Umpires are humans too. Players make mistakes out there. Coaches make mistakes, and umpires make mistakes too. Their mistakes just are viewed by everyone.
Yes.
In the
and
crowd.
criticized by both.
Yes, exactly. So
the 1-1. Curveball in the dirt. Ball 2. Again, Wasatch up 7-6. It's the 6th inning, but due to time limit, this is going to be the last inning. Wasatch got walked off by Orem earlier today, trying to avoid back-to-back walk-offs. Cole sets, 2-1 the count. Looks at the second base.
got your Ace Hardware post-game show coming up after the inning. We'll recap the tournament. Talk about some of the standout performances in this game from the Wasatch baseball team today.
3-1 count here. Zimmerman delivers off the mark, and we load the bases. Nobody out. Winning run now at second base. You got to bring in the infield now, and Wasatch will do it with a 1-run lead. And it's going to bring up the number 4 hitter, which is the third baseman Terry. 2 Ks, but then with an 0-2 count, hit a solo shot over the left field fence in his last at bat on Jackson Bolender. Wasatch had a walk-off in the first one due to a balk, and now here we are, bases loaded, tying run at third. Zimmerman delivers the first pitch of the at-bat. It's high. It's Cole Zimmerman having a hard time finding the zone right now. 1-0 the count.
Thinking back to last year's team, Tyler, what a gift that Cole Cloward was in these situations. Cole Cloward was the closer for the Wasps, who would come in and throw just upper 80s and was very effective at shutting these types of games down.
Another ball makes the count 2-0. Walk would tie the game and put the winning run at third base. Still nobody out here in the bottom half of the 6th.
Wasatch is looking for someone who can fill that role this year. You need a new closer, someone who can come in and shut it down, and Cole's getting his opportunity.
2-0 pitch, swung on, fouled straight back. That could has a chance of hitting somebody. I think it did. 2-1 the count now as Cole comes back with a strike after falling down 2-0.
Well, you just got to trust your stuff if you're Cole here. Not going to blow any fastballs by anyone here, and so you just got to hit your spots and trust your defense.
2-1, swing and a miss as Cole gets a swing and a miss here. That's going to bring up a 2-2. Man, it would be a big strikeout if he was able to give Terry his third strikeout. Terry did hit a solo shot with 2 strikes in his last at bat.
That was a good job from Cole, taking a little something off that, working on the outer half, Tyler.
2-2 pitch, high in the zone, full count. Full count, nobody out here. Zimmerman on the mound. Wasatch began the inning with a dropped ball on a line drive to center field. It was a well-hit ball. Payton did a great job of getting over there, just wasn't able to make the grab. And then back-to-back walks is where we're at right now. The full count pitch off the mark, and that ties the ball game. 7-7 the score. Wasatch will continue to have it cut off, and that's going to bring up the number 5 hitter, which is Willie, the catcher. Hit by pitch in his first at bat, ground out to the shortstop, and a walk in his last at bat.
Timeout taken by Coach Jacobson. Mirror Lake Station mound visit.
Wouldn't it be great if you could bring your pitcher out to donut? And that's a great St. George story. My freshman year with Carl Hermanson as the head coach, we had a pitcher on the mound and was having a hard time throwing strikes. And Clint Keltzen, the pitching coach, ran out there and said, "Hey, what's going on?" And the pitcher responded, "Well, I'm hungry. I need." And Clint was like, "Well, what do you want me to do? Get you a hot dog and have you eat it out here on the mound? I don't know what to do about that." Said it's the first time he's ever gone out to a mound visit, and the pitcher requested some food in order to help him throw strikes.
Do you think that's what just happened there? Coach Jacobson brought out a little saltwater coffee or something like that? Give him a little snack.
Lefty on lefty here. Cole Zimmerman comes in against the catcher, Willie. Willie does have a double in the ball game. Hit by pitch, ground out to the shortstop.
7-7 is the score.
Swung on. It's going to be an infield fly. That should be an automatic out as Jack Bluth's going to come underneath it. A great job from Cole, and Wasatch gets one out. Now you're a double play away. And we'll see what they decide to do with this. If they'll end it in a tie or allow the teams to keep playing.
Ty, that's a big pitch. That's exactly what you would want in that situation. Get an infield fly and nothing competitive happening there. Even if the ball was dropped by Jack, the batter is still out. And you're exactly right, the double play in order. So middle infield able to back up a little bit. Corners will still go home, and then one.
Deep ball to right field, and I think the pinch hitter Olson gets Zach Pinner, and that's going to do it. Wasatch loses on back-to-back walk-offs. The final score 8-7 as the pinch hit Olson gets the first pitch and goes over the right fielder's head, and that's going to do it for the ball game. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Desert Hills gets their first win of the season. Wasatch drops to 1-3 on this Desert Hills Invitational. How about 1-3 with 3 one-run losses? Tough weekend for the Wasps. We'll have your Ace Hardware post-game show right after this.